And we are live with the Live Reality Games podcast covering the Challenge All Stars. My name is Nathan. I'm from Big Brother Columbus 7, and with me is Lee from Scotty Survivor. Lee, how are you doing?
Doing well, excited to do this double episode. A lot has happened in
Yeah,
these
we're
two
finally
episodes.
we're finally sinking our teeth into the game a little bit. We got, after getting rid of Ace, we starting to get a sense of where these relationships are, who knows who's kind of grown apart from who. What are your overall impressions with how the season's going so far?
It's going great so far. Like, we got the drama, we're getting some strategy. It's not all about friendships. We're getting great challenges, we're getting great moments, we're getting great TV. Just excited to see what the future holds.
Yeah, and so we're coming off of the first guys elimination. We Laterian won against Ace. I feel like we're not
Yay.
missing Ace moving forward. I feel
No,
like the house is better
I feel
off.
like no matter who would have went home, we wouldn't have missed them that much.
Yeah. Laterian hasn't done a heck of a lot since he's come back in the house.
I mean, he never has.
That's true. A little bit shady, but true. It seems like people are happy with him, though. He seems to be ingratiating himself socially pretty well. Another relationship we learn about pretty early in episode 2 is Katie and Trishelle. Apparently, they've been friends for years, have been in each other's weddings, and live near each other. And they decide they're not going to hide their friendship. Um, is this a smart idea?
I mean, yeah, it is because everyone knew Katie and Trishelle were friends from the first season they did together. Like, it was very obvious. Like, a lot of these people are friends, and it's very well known. So it doesn't really matter that they're not hiding their friendship because people already know of it.
Yeah, but we see somebody else talks about kind of covering up their relationship a little bit. What can you do to conceal long relationships? Is there anything I mean, people might know the history, but even in the house, you can still do things to like divert attention away.
I mean, like, just like be around other people more. Like, if Katie and Trishelle wanted to hide their relationship, they could like hang out with other people. Katie could hang out with like Anissa and all them. Trishelle could go to somebody else she's close with.
Yeah, like if you're so good friends, like why not separate while you're in the house and say, "Hey, we trust each other. Let's not spend time with each other, except to check in."
I mean,
I,
that's probably what Katie was doing, not really what Trishelle was hoping.
yeah, yeah. Maybe that was Katie's plan. So we also learn a little bit about Kendall. She's a hospice nurse, coming back after 17 years, and um, it seems like she's kind of just finding her footing in this game so far.
Yeah, Kendall seems a bit all over the place, which is not like her first season. Her first season, she was just very calm, there for the fun, there for the challenge. This, she does seem like more sporadic.
Well, last season she was on a team with really strategic players, if I remember right. It was with Zach and Frank. Is that right? No,
No,
wrong season.
wrong season completely. Wait, Kendall was on Inferno 1.
Oh, she was on Inferno One.
Yeah, with like
Yes.
Veronica, Rachel, Darrell, all them.
Yeah.
Was
So
Rachel on that season? No, wait, Rachel wasn't on that season. It
she
was
should
just
have a
Veronica.
grasp of the strategy, but it doesn't seem like she does.
No, because she wasn't really in the strategy on on Inferno. She was there to compete because it was team. This is individual. So in Inferno 1, I'm trying to remember where it's like team wins, make sure you perform well. Like, she was always the nice girl. She wanted to be everyone's friend. She never got into fights.
Yeah.
So she was never really in the strategy. And the challenge was a lot different back when Inferno was being filmed than it is now.
Yeah, very different.
Yeah.
And then we see another relationship, and this is with Trishelle and Anissa. And Anissa was talking about her last challenge from Rivals 2, where Trishelle and Anissa got into a fight, um, particularly around racial issues, and says she's apologized, educated herself, and now learning from Anissa. Do we think that like this relationship coming in when you have like this kind of history where like there was a fight before years ago, so like it should be under the rug? Does this still carry a burden in the game?
Yeah, because people don't forget. Like we saw with Gisela with the lifesaver, how she said like 15 years ago, Ace said she was dead weight. And that was the last time we saw Trishelle on a challenge, with her being kind of not well educated and a bit ignorant to the race and what Anissa was trying to do on Rivals, and get into an argument over that. So she just wants to. Even Anissa did say like it was 9 years ago. It was still a burden with Trishelle. She just wanted to get that off her chest.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like your move needs to be like go and if you're ever on the challenge, just afterwards go and bury your beef after your season outside of the game as soon as possible with everybody because you're probably going to come back at some point. So you might as well squash whatever conflict you have, just to help your game potential games in the future, even if it's 9 years later.
Yeah, I think people don't do that because then it's like, oh wait, if I have this beef, I can get on a rival season.
Yeah, yeah. I guess you like improve your casting choices, but ruin your game chances.
Yeah.
I would say just like puff up the beef, but like don't have real beef. Like fake it. Have a fake Twitter fight. They seem to love that.
Yeah, do what Josh does every season and look for somebody. You'll learn this when you're watching all the other seasons, where you just hunt for someone like, who do I want to be rivals with?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm just into now the Josh's second season, so we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how he goes.
He reverts back to BB19, but somehow worse.
That's hard to do. So we get to our challenge pretty quickly in the episode. It is ancient challenge history, and it's trivia really early in the season. I don't think they've ever done a trivia challenge in episode 2 before.
No, they usually say that for like mid-episode. I was so happy to hear it was challenge trivia, because that's something I always look forward to, because I like flexing my knowledge on the challenge, because it's the only thing I know other than like other reality shows. So I was excited for this. Definitely interesting concept with the whole having to take step forward on thinner floors. So that was kind of interesting, where the guys would drop on the very first one, and the girls were so light they had to jump to break it.
Yeah, we'll get into that awkward moment a little later. But yeah, it does seem like a disadvantage for the guys.
Well, it's not a guy's day, so they don't really care. It's like, it's a girl's day. We're not going home anyways.
Yeah, if you're heavy, just don't get anything wrong. You have fewer chances.
Yeah, Mark
specifically. Yeah, did it take one for him to fall in?
No, I think for the guys, they mostly fell on the second one, and only like a couple made it to the third one.
Yeah, that was fun. In both of these challenges, they're doing challenge history. We get trivia in this challenge, and then we get like the order of the seasons in episode 3. And so some of these questions, how did you do in following along with the questions?
Ones that involve cast, where I got pretty well, and placements. Ones with locations, I kind of struggled with. I kind of went overboard on some, because one question was who won Inferno 3, and I was like, oh, Abram, Kenny, Derek, Janelle, Tanya, Evelyn. And the answer was just the badass team. I was like, oh, you just wanted the team. I listed every person.
Yeah, I feel like I had I don't think I would have gotten many right if I was actually answering them. I think the ones that were like, whoa, I don't remember these at all, is like the team names, the good guys and bad guys. I don't remember that at all. Like real, like half the early seasons were real world and road rules, so like you can kind of take an educated guess there. But
yeah,
for like anything other than those,
yeah. My favorite. There was actually a couple of favorite moments. One was when Katie was asked, who said this? I don't need a gauntlet, I'll cut you with words. And Anissa was like, Katie, who said that? Me!
Well, and Anissa's been in all of these challenges. She like should know everything, and she did. She...
And Katie was on that season too.
Oh, but Katie doesn't pay attention to what's going on. So
No.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was really good. In the guys run, let's see, who did we see? We had Cyrus fall in first, which is kind of surprising. I didn't know who would compete in the most eliminations in one season. He had a good
Casey.
guess was
Yeah.
in these. I didn't know Casey was in that.
Yeah, fresh meat. She was thrown in 5 times.
Yeah, one season.
Yeah, I think he guessed Anissa because Anissa has like the second most elimination wins, so maybe he didn't understand the question.
Yeah,
For some of these questions, I am curious of what they're about because when they just flicked through people saying names, I was like, wait, what was the question that they asked? Like somebody was like Cara Maria, Carly, Evelyn, and it was like wrong. It's like, what were the questions?
Yeah, I wrote down all the questions for the ones that he actually said out loud, or they actually showed. Gosh, some of these were good though. Like bringing back some fun moments. Nehemiah's question: who was DQ'd in the duel for punching Beth?
Oh yeah, shout out to Tina. Did he get that right or wrong?
He got that right. He got that right.
Okay. I mean, it was his first season.
Yeah, and he should know what happened to Beth because he was close with her in their season.
Actually, I got news on that. Apparently that was fake by Beth. Like Beth went to Nehemiah. It's like, let's pretend to be in the showman so we can get airtime.
It wouldn't surprise me if that's the case. Beth loves to chew the camera time.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Let's see, another one that I totally forgot about. Honestly, the Nehemiah question that was which challenge legend received a wedgie from the Miz.
Oh, Brad.
Totally forgot that had happened, and oh my god, that was such a weird fight that happened because of that. Because he asked for it, and then he felt violated from it.
Brad was weird. Brad's a weird player. You root for him and you don't.
I don't know that I've ever rooted for Brad.
I think I did, during the Ruins cutthroat phase when he was with Tori, the good Tori, not the annoying one.
Also, when Brad was, when most of Brad's seasons, I feel like he was just not shown very much. He just didn't have much of a personality until maybe more of his most recent seasons.
When he started hooking up with Brittany.
Yeah, what was his personality, roided up the head?
Yeah, the things you remember Brad for is because of other people. What do you remember Brad from Vendettas? I remember Maria threw pizza on him.
Yeah, he didn't even do anything there.
Yeah.
So with the guys, Tech and Nehemiah are the final two, and Tech gets a question about Nehemiah and which season did Nehemiah win, and he does not know it, so Nehemiah wins the lifesaver. Should you go and just binge all the challenge seasons you can before you go on, knowing that this challenge comes up?
Yes, but not only for trivia, to learn about cast members.
Yeah,
learn what they're like.
But it takes so long to binge all of them. So when Nehemiah wins a lifesaver, Beth is super happy and hopes that he would use it on her. I think he would if Beth ended up in the elimination. If
Jemmy would get in his ear, probably. We'll get onto that relationship later on.
Yeah, but it seems like there's a rule this season, and I think it's been clarified a little bit in the third episode. It seems like the lifesaver can only save the person who's voted in, not the person who loses the challenge. Does that sound right?
Yeah, the person who loses is in no matter what. The person voted in has a chance to be saved.
Because some of the contestants were talking and strategizing as if the lifesaver could save either person. But when TJ posed the question in episode 3, he really made it sound like, oh, you can only save the person voted in.
Yeah, because he kept saying, do you want to save Tech? He didn't say, do you want to save Tech or Nehemiah? It was just Tech.
Yeah. So that does change things a little bit going forward, because that means you still have to perform at least to where you're not last place
Yeah.
on your elimination day. So we do find our last place person for this challenge in the girls round. And let's see, Trishelle answers the question, what was Banana's first season? And she says Rivals 1, and that is wrong. It is The Duel.
The Duel.
Where
of course she loses a question about Johnny Bananas. And then her response, I don't care about bananas. That's rude.
That's fair.
TJ,
if Bananas was on this season, I think he would do not great.
No, I actually think he would do fine, because he's
Really?
like protected by all the guys. All the guys would protect him because they're like friends.
I feel like people would see through. I feel like people would see through the threat level. I think
the girls would try to get him, and the guys would just protect him.
It would have been interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, Banana's
Probably.
first appearance, where he loses first on the duel, goes out first.
Yeah.
Little known tidbit of Banana's story.
Yeah, he went home first.
People really don't bring up very often. It's like, you went home.
No,
first.
people love bringing it up. People love bringing up Bananas' failures.
Yeah, they should bring it up more. That guy needs an ego check. So Trishelle Falls is in elimination. So then it's a battle for first place. And we get to this point where... one more question I want to bring up. And this is another thing I forgot about entirely. Anissa gets asked, in the Inferno, who tried to release Victoria's safety line?
Oh, Julie. When Julie tried to kill her.
Yeah, and looking at that, seeing that footage again, oh my god, it's terrifying. Like, it actually is terrifying and really bad.
It was. I still remember the phrasing, like, Veronica, I don't hate you, baby. I was trying to win. Shut the fuck up. I couldn't release your safety harness. I couldn't if I wanted to. I have a problem.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you know this history really well, since I'm a bit of a newer fan to the challenge. So we get to the later on, and Kendall gets a question wrong.
And she's on the third platform.
And TJ tells her to take a hop or something.
Yeah.
And she hops off her third platform and then just stands awkwardly next to it, not knowing what to do.
Yeah, I feel like that was 50% genuine, 50% I just saw what happened to Katie, who had PTSD from Cutthroat. I don't want that to happen to me.
But it's like, if you get the question wrong, do you think you're going to be able to like hop back like across the tiles to the other side?
At that point, nobody survived all three tiles, so maybe she was genuinely confused.
I think she was, but it was just like she thought she somehow had 6 lives instead of 3.
Like, did I break do I just continue onto these 2 platforms that haven't broken yet?
So that was a awkward moment. Kendall needs to act like she's been there before.
I mean, it's been 17 years since the girl's been on the challenge.
That's true.
Yeah.
And we get down to Anissa versus Ruthie. This is a fun matchup. They both know their stuff. They have lots of back and forth questions. Who was your money on when you were watching?
Oh, Anissa. Anissa has done 57 of these seasons. She has to know all of them.
Yeah, you would think so. But Ruthie does really well. I wouldn't have pegged Ruthie to be
Ruthie was a
queen.
surprise. Ruthie was a surprise because she wasn't on that many seasons. She was on a few of the older ones, one mid-season. It was a nice surprise for Ruthie.
Yeah.
And she knew how to do the hop.
She figured it out. To me, she really showed how much she wants to be there, like really her passion for the challenge, just based on how much she knew everything. It means like she watches other people's seasons and she knew her stuff. It was cool to see her in these 2 episodes. She really broke out because her first episode she was invisible. Yeah. I was a little bit worried for her this episode because of how much screen time she got. I'm like, oh no, are they gonna do Ruthie dirty? Put her up against Trishelle and especially when Tech didn't win the lifesaver, and she had made a comment that she really
Oh
wanted
yeah.
Tech to win the lifesaver. You know, the editors are kind of pointing, oh, maybe it's gonna be Ruthie.
I
um,
was thinking that as well when I saw Ruthie at a confession. I was like, oh, Ruthie must be going into elimination or going home.
yeah, I was getting nervous, but she was okay. So Anissa wins, and
Yay for her.
yay for her, she is safe. Trishelle wants Beth to go in, which it wouldn't be a challenge episode if Beth's name isn't brought up.
Yeah,
Um,
no.
and then
Beth
Anissa
always
tosses
has.
out Anissa tosses out Kendall as an option. Um, between these two, who's the right choice for who? Like for Trishelle, like should she go against Kendall or Beth? And for like Anissa, who's better to keep around?
I think Kendall was the better choice to go in against Trishelle because they're evenly matched size wise, height wise. Beth would probably just, if it was a physical, Beth would probably break Trishelle.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be another Letarian ace moment. Game wise, I mean, for Anissa at least, if she ain't gonna work with Kendall, what's the point of keeping her?
Yeah, yeah. Kendall hasn't made the connections.
Like, her only connection really is Darrell because they started this together.
Yeah. Kendall wants to vote for the person who fell second. She throws out Gisella's name.
Yeah.
And so Gisela throws the vote right back at Kendall, and everything dogpiles from there. I don't know why she threw out Gisela. Like, Gisela seemed like she was
I think
never
it
going to
was
go in at this point.
No, I think it really was random, and Kendall was trying to be like, well, I don't know who to vote for. What's a fair way? I guess I could do the girl that fell second. I don't even think she knew it was Gisela. She just said, I'm going to vote for the whoever fell second. And then it was like, who fell second? And then Gisela said, so me. It's like, yeah, you then. I don't think she knew who fell
Which is
second.
a terrible idea. Why would you, like, call somebody out without actually knowing who they are?
It's like, I don't know. I think she's the nice girl. She wants to be everybody's friend. She's not cutthroat like some of these people.
But this is the challenge. Either you're cutthroat or your throat is cut.
Uh,
So we have, this vote all goes on Kendall. Darrell throws a vote at Katie just because he doesn't want to vote for
for
Kendall,
laughs.
which I don't think Katie is gonna care because she's pretty.
She didn't care. If Katie cared, we would have known.
Yeah. And so Trishelle wonders why it's gonna be Kendall and not why it's going to be Kendall and not Katie. She's wondering why Derek is telling her instead of Katie, because Derek breaks the news to her first, and Katie decides to get dinner before going and talking to Trishelle because food is more important than telling your friend the news. Trishelle blows this out of proportion.
Oh god, it was drama over nothing. It's like they had a deliberation. Katie was downstairs still talking with people before she told Trishelle. Derek decided I'm heading upstairs. Trishelle is there. Might as well tell her. It's like, why isn't Katie telling me? It was like really kind of stupid, to be honest. It was a stupid argument.
Yeah,
and I think everyone knew that.
It feels like Trishelle was just getting unwound because of her paranoia of leaving the game, and so she was letting that ruin her friendship with Katie. Somehow, it was made out of nothing. Like, just because Derek broke the news first, who cares who gets to your room first?
Yeah, and you're going against Kendall. It's not like you're going against who's a strong player. I need help. Who's a strong player that could have been thrown in?
For girls, Ruthie.
Ruthie, yeah, you're not going against
Gisela.
Ruthie or Gisela. You're going against Kendall, the girl who doesn't know where she is half the time.
Yeah, I think Jemmy and Anissa. I feel like those four are probably the strongest reputation-wise.
Yeah. Wow, Jemmy Strong. Who would have heard?
Well, comparatively, I mean, we're playing with like 50-year-olds, and Jemmy's been in this, just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Thing with Anissa. It's a much lower bar with this challenge. So let's see. Then we have this drama. They're just like fighting with each other. Katie's trying to not be her old self. Trishelle feels like she's always having Katie's back, and Katie's like, just time to let it go.
Like, come
And then
on.
there's this question of whether Nehemiah will use a lifesaver and throw Katie in against Trishelle. Was there any chance of this?
No. Nehemiah is not going to risk his game for Kendall and just to throw in Katie to have like this best friend battle. This isn't Drag Race where the producers force best friends to go against each other.
Yeah, it would have been dumb. You want to say as few people's names as possible, and Nehemiah smartly said nothing here.
Yeah, and it's still too early. We still don't know what it's only the second episode and the first girl elimination.
Yeah,
neither of them
don't know the mechanics.
Yeah, neither of them are worth throwing your neck out there for.
True. So we get to the Elimination Arena, and it's Kendall versus Trishelle in Not So Fast. It is the infamous tying a rope around a jungle gym structure and then trying to untie your opponent's knots. And I love this challenge. This is one of my favorites. I was really disappointed with how they performed here, though. What did you think?
I was shocked that they brought it back, but supposing it was a girls' elimination, we're not going to get a CT knot that we saw in Invasions, where he broke the challenge.
Did he, though?
I mean, they had to literally get a saw and cut the rope because it was that tangled. He's the reason why that elimination never comes back anymore, except for this one time.
We get a comment in the chat here. I think from Dustin. Did Lee just say Drag Race and the challenge? What a combo show that could be. I wonder how would some Drag Race contestants do on the challenge? Like, who would go on the show and how would they do?
They'd all be thrown into the first elimination.
Naturally.
I don't know what... I've actually thought of this, and I put thought into this, because I love making fantasy Battle of the Seasons where you bring in people from other shows, and I thought of Drag Race, and I tried to think, who are queens that are in shape? So I think of, like, Cameron Michaels, Brooklyn Heights.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm first.
I mean, she could lift some of the... If it's a physical challenge...
Yeah, I think they should bring maybe I'm first onto the challenge.
Why not? Yeah, like, we're not going to see queens like Pheromone or, like, if you want to get drama queens, bring, like, Aja and all them.
Yeah, I think, Cameron Michaels would be cool to see. I think she could actually perform.
Yeah, I mean, she's in shape.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I at this point, they're bringing reality contestants from every show. Why not Drag Race at this point?
Yeah, they have America's Got Talent. They have X Factor coming. Bring in somebody from Drag Race.
Bring in a couple people from Drag Race. Let's not limit it to one. Let's get a couple people in there, and that would be great. I want to see this.
Put Rock and Sakura on the challenge. Oh wait, you don't know who that is yet.
I don't know yet. I have only up to season 10 and All Stars 4.
Put Trinity. Oh wait, no, canceled. Put Monique Hart on the challenge.
Monique Hart could get down, I bet. So back to the elimination.
Back to the challenge.
Where these queens are fighting it out. Yeah. Trishelle just barely makes a knot. Like, I feel like she barely put the rope around the structure. Like, this wasn't close. It wasn't even close.
No, not really, no. It's like... Trishelle was thinking, because Trishelle has seen this elimination on Battle of the Seasons, she's just never done it. So she was like, I'm going to use this whole structure, that way Kendall tires out going like from structure to structure. While Kendall, with help from Darrell, who knows how this is done because he lost to this, was telling her, focus on one point. Mm-hmm. Where people are shading Kendall, saying like, Kendall's only using one spot. You have this whole cage and you're only using one spot. But that's actually the best strategy, because you're using less energy like going around the whole thing, and you're making just one big confusing knot, which ultimately works in the end.
Well, and I think you want as many turns and flips as possible, and you get fewer of that if you're using the length of rope to stretch across. So like you want to
Yeah,
kind of concentrate around one area, do a lot of vertical work, and see if you can get people to have to just unwind the rope more times rather than just move like go farther around the structure.
yeah, because like if you're making knots from like one end to like the other, you're tiring yourself out more. When you get to the other person's knot, you're going to be too tired to move as quick.
Yeah. So then we have a great song come on. Did you notice the "Listen to Your Heart"? Listen to
Oh, wait,
your heart.
speaking of Drag Race, the amount of music they use that have been used in Drag Race lip syncs in these past 2 episodes.
There's so many so much throwback music. I mean, it's really clear this season is meant for people between the ages of like 26 and 45.
Yeah.
Like,
And I'm
this is
nowhere near
this is
and
a
I'm
this is
nowhere
a
near those ages.
this is like a very specific demographic. Like they're picking all the music for upper millennials, younger Gen X people, and anyone who grew up with the Real World and Challenge, basically.
Yeah.
Um,
So not my generation.
they are not. This is not the show to bring in new fans, apparently, which is fine. You know, this feels like a homage to all of the contestants, which is really fun to see.
Yeah, like it's celebrate an old school challenge.
Yeah.
Like with all these challenges and eliminations we're seeing, like they're old school classic eliminations. We're all waiting for that hall brawl that's eventually coming.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait for that.
Because yeah, they have to have a hall brawl every season.
Mm-hmm. Do you think they would do? I was thinking about some like OG challenges, and I was like, would they ever do like the one where you have like a car grid and you have to drive cars off the lot?
I don't think they're going to do that. Well, actually, they could. They have brought car challenges back for these modern seasons. You'll see one in Total Madness.
Okay, yeah, I think a driving challenge would be really fun to see again. We don't see them often, and they are sometimes really tricky.
Yeah, like driving stick. That was a real challenge in Free Agents, where
Yeah,
majority of the cast didn't know how to drive stick.
and still would be.
Yeah, because you Americans apparently don't drive stick.
No, we do not. I've tried once, and it was terrifying. So I gave that up
Well,
quick.
I choose not to drive because I don't trust myself on the road.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So Kendall wins, no surprise there, and
Yay for Kendall.
Trishelle's going home, but she wants a girl to win the challenge. She recommends going to the gym to prepare. Good advice, Trishelle.
Yeah.
And Katie thinks she and Trishelle have outgrown each other, so it sounds like they're not going to be friends after this. But I guess we'll see. I mean, maybe we can check their Twitters and see if they're okay.
They'll be friends, just not as good friends as they were back in the day.
Yeah. What does this mean that Trishelle goes home? How does this change the house at all?
Less stupid drama, maybe? Honestly, like, just like on Inferno 1 when Ace and Trishelle went home first, nothing much is really happening other than less drama, kind of.
Yeah.
Less stupid drama.
She had some connections, though. So, like, you have to think this could hurt Darrell a little bit. This could hurt Katie a little bit. Just because they're losing people that knew her well.
Yeah, but
Or
they
not
have
Darrell,
other
sorry, that's
connections.
with Kendall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just really Katie. Like, I don't know who else Trishelle was ever close with other than Katie.
Yeah.
So, and plus Katie has other people with her back. So, yeah, she lost Trishelle who had her back, but she has other people as well.
Yeah.
She has guys that could use Lifesaver on her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Katie might be in trouble, though. Pretty sooner rather than later. I'm worried about her just losing a challenge.
Yeah, I'm afraid saying like I'm afraid she could come in last, but I'm really hoping not.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's a good few of these team challenges, and when they're girls' day, she's not a captain.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's true. So that basically ends it for episode 2. It was pretty straightforward as far as an episode goes. Um,
Yeah,
but
it had some moments. My favorite moment throughout the episode was when back in the trivia challenge, where TJ asked Kellyanne a question, and instead of answering, she just simply walked forward and fell. It was like, I don't even remember what the question was. It was something like, "Name who did this," and Kellyanne was like, "I'm just gonna
oh,
walk forward."
yeah, it was who is the only good guy to win an elimination, and it was
Oh,
Landon.
yeah. Oh, I love Kellyanne. I wish she'd get more screen time.
Yeah,
Actually, no, she's getting the right amount. She's
we're
just,
getting some from her. I feel like she's there.
yeah, she's getting like the good amount. You get like the one good quote or one good moment from her.
I feel like between these first 3 episodes, we've seen something from nearly every female contestant. Maybe Jonna's not had much yet, but
No, she had a confessional this episode
I
where
think
she's like
episode
comforting Ruthie.
yeah, that's the only moment I can think about with Jonna so far is connected with Ruthie. So maybe that means their storylines are going to be tied together or something. But Jonna kind of was a nothing burger in all of her original seasons.
Pretty much, yeah. Like Johnny is never somebody you remember.
I was kind of surprised that she came back, that they brought her back, because what did she ever do that was notable?
Beat Sarah in a puzzle.
Sure, yes, that one thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, you had to
that's the
remind me.
one. That's the one thing I remember. Like, what do I remember? John A. It's like I remember her and Jasmine beat Sarah and Caitlin in a puzzle elimination in their first season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's get to episode 3. So this is going to be a guys elimination episode, and Kendall is after her win. She's may have set kind of a standard for herself. Like maybe people will notice her now that she can perform in a challenge at least. And then Jemmye wants to work with Nehemiah, and Nehemiah wants to work with Jemmye. I feel like this is a good pair. Nehemiah and Jemmye could really go far together.
They could. They're like the younger-ish out of the cast. They're the only ones that seem to not be married
Mm-hmm.
or in any relationships. Plus, Jemmye, like these past couple of seasons, she wants to scheme. She wants to be like this strategic player. Because we never see much of that. I feel we never really see that much in like her first couple of seasons, but we saw a lot of it like her more newer seasons.
Yeah. I just want to see if she can win a challenge. I don't know that Jemmye has won very much before. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. She can stay around politically, but she needs to clinch a win when it matters.
Hold on, I have a sheet here saying that pretty much goes through every single challenger and their wins that I did not do, but I happily have access to.
Beautiful.
So
I'll keep talking about Jemmye while you find that, because then Beth chimes in and she loves Jemmye, and I feel like this is a really natural like alliance kind of coming together. Jemmye, Nehemiah, Beth and Nehemiah are already working together. If Beth and Jemmye get along, this could be really good for Beth too. But like Beth really needs some insulation for her to stick around, and personally I'm rooting for Beth because why wouldn't I? Beth is TV gold. So I'm really happy to see this. She kind of has some friends for once, and maybe if she does find her name thrown out, she might have some protection.
Yeah, from her challenge daughter. I just looked up. Jemmye has 5 daily wins.
5 daily wins. Honestly, that's way more than I thought she would.
Yeah, 5 out of 47.
Okay.
And I'm trying to remember. She probably won a challenge or 2 in Vendettas when they were in large groups, and maybe she won a challenge with Camilla and Rivals too.
Yeah. But she didn't win anything in her recent season. But now she is in a cast where she could.
Easily, because everyone is way too old for these challenges.
Yeah. And these challenges are not any easier because they're not scaled for age.
No. I mean, we
Um,
all saw what happened in that first challenge, where half the cast almost died.
yeah. So then we see before the challenge, we see Tech, goes and skinny dips a bit, goes swimming, and Ruthie is talking about their relationship. They're from the original Real World
Real
season
world
together,
Hawaii.
Real World Hawaii, um, and Ruthie is feeling a little bit unsafe because of Anissa, but Arissa seems to be there for a source of comfort for her. Or where's that Janae?
It was Arissa and then Johnny. It was
Yeah.
Arissa pre-challenge, Johnny post-fight with Anissa.
So are we getting these factions of, Ruthie, Arissa, Janae, Beth, Jemmy, Anissa? I feel like
It
those are
seems,
like your big split in the as far as the girls go.
yeah. It seems like Ruthie is doing now what Anissa is doing in this current season, where it's like tired of the same people running together, running the show, and she wants to separate that.
Yeah. I wonder, and then I guess it remains to be seen where people like Katie and Kellyanne will fall on, which side they'll fall on. Hmm.
Yeah, Kellyanne has always been like a middle player, and same with Katie. Actually,
Yeah.
Katie might stick with her friend. One sec.
Yeah, Katie will stick with her friends. So then we get to this challenge, and it is Melt Away. It is the classic
Oh god.
ice melting challenge. And everyone is split into 5 teams of 4. We have the copper team, the gold team, the black team, the silver team, the gray team, and in each team of 4, there's a guy and girl captain, which means that there's a lot of people who are putting themselves at risk potentially for losing. And
Yeah.
it kind of interesting to see who was actually stepping up and who was stepping back here. What did you think of this twist of teams?
I mean, I found it interesting because the original Icebreaker Challenge, we have seen a team version of Icebreaker Challenge with the challenge Spring Break, where it was like 16 to 6. This is like a lot less people, a lot older people.
Hmm.
So, and like we had captains this time, and then they had the added pressure of not breaking shields.
Yeah, well, and it was funny that they kind of got, they're doing the typical thing where they're, using all their bodily fluids, rubbing each other over the ice, and it's taking forever. And TJ stops them and gives them hammers. I don't think this was planned when they came up with the challenge. I feel like this was the producers realized, oh, we made this ice too thick. We need a way to get this filming wrapped up at some point before these people die of heat exhaustion.
Oh my god, this challenge was hilarious and uncomfortable at the same time.
So many body folds.
So many. But yeah, they made the ice thicker, but also the last 2 times they did this. The first time they did it was in some sort of desert. The second time they did it was like the Brazilian like spring breaks heat. Here they were doing it in like an already cold area where
Hmm.
no sun. Like not even Arissa's like praise Atua thing could help.
Yeah,
What
Arissa
was
prays to the
that?
sun and her ancestors. And apparently, maybe the strategy is to pray beforehand instead of during the challenge.
Like what kind of Angie Onaga type shit was she doing?
Well, and apparently it didn't work. Well, it worked okay for her. She didn't end up losing. But the gold team gets out the shields first. Jemmy feels like she knows the seasons, and Darrell feels like he knows the seasons for his team. Let's see, the silver team. So it's kind of between the gold and the silver team. It seems like, um, and the copper team is nervous and that has Nehemiah and Katie as captains. Um, but it kind of came down to who can, not just the ice. The ice was part of it, but it kind of came down to who can actually solve the seasons in order. As always, it always comes down to the puzzle.
Yeah. I think Jemmy was definitely a good person because she is the most modern out of them, so she knows a lot of the modern seasons, which a lot struggled with. I'm surprised Derek didn't finish this any faster because he's like, wait, which team was Derek on again?
Derek
Was
was
he
on the black
on?
team with Janae, Anissa, and Latyrian, and he was a team captain.
Yeah, because like he's on Challenge Mania. He does like season recaps on his own podcast for 11, so
Mhm.
kind of surprised there.
Yeah,
So
and then
yeah.
there's this added twist of a rule after TJ breaks out the hammers that if you break your shield, you get a time penalty, and it comes down to the copper team comes in last, and for sure, and that's the team with Big Easy, Gisela, Nehemiah, and Katie, and so Nehemiah is going in. But
Yeah.
then we have the first place teams. The gold team finished first, but they had broken shields. And the gold team had Mark and Alton and Beth and Jemmy. So it ends up being the silver team winning with Darrell and Kendall as captains.
Oh God, that team where Jemmy was like, I'm pretty much watching my parents have sex on ice. Like, Beth's my challenge mom, Mark's my challenge dad. They're on top of each other. I'm pretty much watching how I was born.
It was a little bit uncomfortable. Like it's one thing when it I don't know how well this challenge has aged, and quite literally we see how it has aged, and maybe we don't want like 50-year-olds in speedos rubbing themselves on
Yeah,
ice,
there's
but
a
even
reason.
looking.
There's a reason why. Back in the old school days, a lot of them were in their 20s.
Yeah, yeah.
And on the
And
spring break, you had a bunch of spring break college people doing it.
mm-hmm. And even but
Not
even
married
looking back
people.
that far, it doesn't seem to be like one of these challenges that really makes the challenge look great. Because
It
it
was
just
one
kind of
of those. It's one
it's
of
one of those
those like.
MTV things.
Yeah, it was one of those stupid sexy challenges that they used to have like one of for the laughs. Like
Yeah,
in
and take
Battle of the
girls in
Seasons.
bikinis.
Yeah, but majority of them are married, and I'm
Yeah,
not into women.
yeah. There was not a lot to look at in this challenge, unfortunately.
Oh,
Or yeah,
yeah.
whatever, however you put that. So we get
If
to
you want
the
to look at something, go watch the original Battle of the Sexes one.
yeah, you're better off there. So we get to the strategizing portion, and Nehemiah wants Tech voted in. So at the end of this, we see Tech kind of yelling. Did you catch what Tech was yelling? Like your house is on fire and it's burning down. What's going on with this Tech
I
and
don't,
Nehemiah thing?
I don't get it. Like, Tech came in like fourth or third, somewhere in the middle. His team came there and starts screaming nothing. It's like, you didn't win. Like, you're not safe. Why are you screaming? Why? A lot.
Tech
Just why?
Tech just came like off this episode as being like an entirely a fish out of water. And really I question his Chiron says, challenge 2000 finalists. And did you really have a finalist in those early seasons? Because I'm pretty sure there wasn't really eliminations.
I feel like in those early seasons, you were casted, you win. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah. There was maybe one season where they had one vote, but other than that, everyone made it to the end.
Pretty much.
So the fact that he's labeled a finalist is not quite as impressive when they as like labeling, Kendall a finalist or something like that.
Kendall a winner.
Kendall a winner,
Like,
yeah, but it's not equivalent.
yeah, no. It's like anyone can make a final. Like, Jemmy made a final.
But
Arissa
then,
made a final.
yeah, yeah, less impressive when you're on a big team.
Yeah.
But then, at least when you have eliminations, there's something like you can survive socially. There's something to show off there.
Yeah. And you can rack up an elimination win record.
Sure, sure. But like Tech volunteers himself, which Jemmy
He
is
knew he
pissed.
was. Oh, yeah. Jemmy doesn't. Jemmy wants drama. Jemmy is here for drama. She has always been on the challenge for drama, I feel like.
Well, I think you always want somebody to say the name so you can always see where A, where they stand, and B, depending how the challenge turns out, you can use that information towards your angle. But if no information is revealed, there's little you can do politically.
Yeah, like Jemmy would hate these newer seasons where everyone is saying, I want to go into elimination to get my skull. Like
Yeah.
Jemmy would hate that.
Well, it's. I
Like,
don't even
I
think it
think
was
most of
about
the
the
people.
fact of going in elimination. I think it's just the fact that that Tech didn't let people expose themselves and their loyalties.
Yeah, he just immediately said, I know y'all are going to say my name. I'm just going to go in. And Jemmy didn't want to say Tech's name. She wanted Big Easy to go in.
Hmm. Well, and sometimes with these votes too, you just don't know because everyone could come in thinking one name, and then one person goes rogue, throws out a Big Easy vote, and people might just dogpile on that. I mean, this has happened so many times before where the votes go in a completely different direction than planned, just based on how they are said out loud. And so the fact that Tech volunteers himself, A, stupid, super stupid on his gameplay part, but B, like, it's not a for sure thing. It's not a for sure thing. Like, you're not letting people expose their loyalties, and you might not get voted in. You don't know.
Yeah, people might want to keep you. Like, this is what like we're missing from like modern challenges and what we miss. We miss those like rogue throw votes that all of a sudden turn on. Like, greatest example of this, Leroy. He was screwed by this twice. Rivals 2,
Hmm.
when Teresa and Nani threw their votes on him, he ended up in elimination and could have went home.
Yeah,
Brittany threw Dirty 30. Brittany threw her vote on him. He ended up going home because Veronica pulled this big move.
yeah.
Like,
You can't assume these things. There's always you need to let the vote play out. Rule of the
yeah,
challenge: let it play out.
yeah. Like Tech could have said nothing. Jemmy could have said, "I want to throw in Big Easy," and a lot of people could have piled on that. Like we could have had Big Easy versus Nehemiah.
Yeah. So it ends up, Tech volunteers himself, and then there's the question of whether Kendall will use the lifesaver to save um, Nehemiah, but
Tech.
they're strategizing. Sorry, save Tech, but they're strategizing as to who she would save and things like because it doesn't seem like they know the rules, and it seems to be clarified now. Kendall does not use the lifesaver to save Tech, which should she have saved Tech? Like she doesn't have anybody in this game. Maybe it would have
I
made
mean,
some sense to use it.
not really. Like her and Tech never seemed close, and plus, like I've been saying throughout this whole thing, she's the nice girl. She doesn't want to say a name, and the fact
Except when she,
she's
sorry, keep going.
and like if you look back on Inferno 1 when she had the lifesaver, she threw herself in mainly because of peer pressure from her team, but she just wants to be everybody's friend.
Well, I don't have a lot of hope for Kendall this season,
Yeah.
especially after they go to the bar the night that she wins the lifesaver, and she is hamming it up that she has the power and all the guys are nervous. I've never seen anybody quite do this and kind of like hold the guys hostage.
I mean, it's nice to see once in a while where the guys are squirming and not the girls for once.
Hmm.
But it's like when you put the power in the hands of somebody who you have no idea what they're going to do and who is not used to power, you fear a bit. Like if, let's say, Anissa had the lifesaver, you knew she was not going to use it, or if Ruthie had it, you knew she was going to use it. But the fact that Kendall had it, who everyone kind of just threw in the previous challenge, you have no idea what the girl's going to do. She could save Tech, throw in Big Easy, throw in Mark. She could throw herself in again.
Hmm.
Who knows?
Well, except it's a guys elimination, so she probably
I mean,
wouldn't be allowed to do that.
we've had guy girl eliminations in the past. I don't see why they couldn't bring them back.
I don't think they won't bring them back. I think they will bring them back at some point. They have to because it's one winner. But as far as the way they designate these, I don't think TJ
Yeah.
would allow her to jump in.
Let's see Mark versus Arissa in a hall brawl.
Oh god, that'd be terrible.
Arissa would just snap in half.
She would just start praying.
She'd just start floating above it. Like she'd just
So
be there. Mark's running. She just floats over Mark. Mark trips and she somehow wins.
oh gosh, yeah, that would. Hey, you never know. She survived the challenge, so maybe she could survive a hall brawl with the prayer. So do you get to Elimination Arena, and it is going out of tile. This is a. I'm gonna say this. This seems like a really haphazardly put together challenge. It feels like they didn't know what they were doing for this elimination, so they threw a couple components together.
Yeah,
Which, yeah.
this is very much like, oh shit, we didn't have enough elimination. We don't have enough male eliminations. What should we do? Let's just get them to smash tiles. Really, that it? Let's throw in the Carolina Reaper just to
Yeah.
spice things up, literally.
It feels so low budget, which is almost a throwback to how the challenge used to be. I mean, but it really just felt like these are two separate things. Like these, to set the scene a little bit. There's a bunch of tiles hanging from rope, and Tech and Nehemiah have to go around and smash them. And then before the challenge, TJ pulls out a little it wasn't quite a dime bag, a little sandwich bag, druggy bag or something of Carolina Reaper peppers. Puts on a glove beforehand.
Oh yeah, because he didn't want. I think he just didn't want to get like the pepper juice on him. If he starts rubbing his eyes, he start burning up.
Yeah,
I almost
yeah.
wish. Then you have Kellyanne like, are they bugs? I swear, Kellyanne is just giving you like background gold. Like even in the challenge where she was just like on the ice, she felt like very much at home.
Well, and then the other weird thing about this is it's not like the peppers are even part of the challenge. They just have to eat them. So
they eat them. Wait,
it would,
and then
so then they start the challenge.
Yeah, it's like in stages. It's like before you start this challenge, here, have a quick snack. It's only the world's hottest pepper.
It doesn't make sense. It would have made a lot more sense to me if it was like, okay, to win this, you have to eat the pepper as soon as you're done eating it, then you can go smash your tiles. But that's not what happened. Like, it was just weird and disjointed. I don't know what was going on, but it's not the best challenge.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, up to now, we had like legendary eliminations, legendary dailies, and then just one crapshoot.
Yeah, this isn't even crapshoot as much as haphazard. But, TJ, it was Nehemiah versus Tech, and they eat the peppers, and then they run and smash the tiles.
And Nehemiah wins.
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny. Like TJ says for them to go, and Tech is like in the middle of spitting up, like when they say go, and so he just starts running with like a big loogie of drool hanging out his mouth.
I hate when they do slow motions of that. It's disgusting.
It was pretty gross. But Nehemiah seems to be far ahead because he even starts to run to the mat, and then he realizes he missed one. Goes back, gets it, and he still has time to hit his missed tile and beat Tech. This doesn't even seem very close to me, even.
It wasn't, and it was like, I thought it was like you had to make sure like the whole hole was clear of your tile. Nah, you just had to like make a hole in the tile; it could still be on it.
Just crack it.
Chip,
apparently,
little chip missing. There you go. Move on to the next.
Yeah. I'd be okay if they don't bring this one back.
Don't bring it back.
Yeah, we're okay without this one. First two challenges,
or make it better.
Great. Yeah, there could have been maybe if there was like a full like jungle gym effort of like climbing something to get to your tiles.
Yeah, if it was that Rivals 2 elimination that Leroy, Ty, Zach, and Trey did, where they were like on levels and they had to go down floors breaking different things, like break glass, break chains, break something similar to glass that wasn't, then break blocks.
Yeah, that would have been more interesting.
Yeah, and it was sort of like a race rather than just two kids fighting in a jungle gym.
I mean, either way, I think Nehemiah had this in the bag. For it not being a terribly physical challenge, he killed it, and would make anybody want to question going against Nehemiah in the future?
Anyone could have done this challenge. I could have done this challenge, and I have no arm
Sure,
strength.
sure. But I think this getting the win, whether the challenge is threatening or not, just starts to build a reputation for people.
Yeah, if you get a win in anything, it's yeah, I have a win. What do you have?
Yeah.
Oh, you might have had all these championships, but I have that one elimination win.
Well, and I think this probably matters more for the tougher competitors, the people who can kind of get towards the end game without, ending up in an elimination. Because I feel like we've seen it a few times where I think it was maybe even a CT or something, gets towards the end of a game, and then people are like, "Hey, you've never been tested. I don't even think you're that good." And it's at least to get in an elimination, people will not forget that Nehemiah has what it takes to win things.
Yeah, he has won an elimination.
Yeah.
Kendall's won an elimination.
Yeah.
I feel all these invisible people, not to say Kendall and Nehemiah were invisible, but people wouldn't expect. Yeah, well, he is invisible now. I knew this would happen. He gets his elimination win, we never see him again.
Yeah.
Did he even get a confessional these past 2 episodes?
I don't think he did. And I don't think we didn't see anything from Yes, really. I can't think of anything from Yes. I can't think of anything from Cyrus.
No.
And Latyrian, they're all being pretty quiet.
The guys this season suck.
They had a big pool to pull from, and I think they had a few misses here. I don't think Tech was a miss. I feel like Tech was a fun character in his 3 episodes.
Yeah, he was an unexpected character from the very beginning of the challenge.
He was your wild card, this person who has never even competed in a competition challenge season, and where there's eliminations. And I'm fine with him being here. I feel like Tech was good. He was fun. He went and skinny dipped, and he was a messy player, but I enjoyed watching him.
Yeah, he has that one captain win at the very beginning.
Yeah.
At least you can go home with that.
Go home with that, Tech. So where are we moving forward from here? We see in the next episode there's going to be the On the Ropes challenge. And Ruthie might be in trouble. Arissa might be in trouble. It's a girls' elimination. Personally, I'm worried for Arissa. I'm worried for Arissa here.
Yeah. Every time we see her, it's never comforting to see her in her position, because she's just not there.
Yeah.
Mental-wise. She's away with the fairies or something.
I could just see her either losing a challenge. She could either lose a challenge or get voted in. I could see either one happening. And that's a position you don't want to be in.
Yeah, I can see her numbing herself, being like, I feel like the spirits are telling me it's my time to go into elimination.
Oh gosh, no.
And then you had Jemmy behind her, like, bitch, shut up. Let us pick a name. I want to see what these people are thinking.
Yeah, if that happens twice, I will be a little annoyed too.
Yeah, I don't want people. Stop throwing yourselves in elimination.
Yes, please.
Get rid of this skull. Get rid of this stupid skull twist. This is for modern MTV, because I know they're watching us.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know that they're watching us yet. But hey, this was fun. I feel like this season is still living up to our hope. I feel like I've enjoyed these 3 episodes so far.
Yeah, it hasn't been a disappointment yet. We're getting good commentary, good drama, good strategy play, good comedy, good challenges.
And the elimination order has been okay so far. I don't feel like we're losing anyone who's we're gonna miss moving into the late game.
Yeah, Ace, Trishelle, and Tech.
Yeah. And Beth has made it 3 episodes, and maybe we'll get through the 4th, because I don't think her name was brought up in the preview. So there's hope. There's hope for evil Beth.
Make it far? I don't need.
Maybe.
She could make the final.
That would be astonishing. Honestly, I don't know. She's over 50. She's got to be the oldest female to ever compete, and I just worry about her losing something at some point because of her age. I mean, I just don't see her getting that far.
Beth has confidence in herself. I've been saying that she's going off on Twitter saying, I could do one of the regular shows. Put me on.
I'm here to see it. I would love to see it, but I don't know how well she would do.
I think she'd do well, strategic wise, maybe, or at least commentary wise.
We just want the confessionals anyway.
Yeah, we just want her for her confessionals. Imagine her with all these Big Brother. God,
she would tear them apart.
Yeah, she'd take one look at Josh and I could make you cry, which a hat dropping could make him cry.
She definitely could make Josh cry.
Right. She just has to give him. She just do a look, and then Josh just be bawling in the corner.
Oh gosh. Well, at least Josh isn't on this season. We have all OGs.
Oh thank God.
Yeah.
No more other Big Brother people.
Yeah. Any last thoughts about these 2 episodes, Lee?
More Kellyanne.
More Kellyanne.
She's just there's always throughout any reality show, there's that one contestant or player that is never really highlighted or made, but they get the odd 2 confessionals an episode or a funny moment, and I just want more of that.
I feel like she's gonna win a challenge at some point, and
I mean, didn't her team win this one? Oh wait, no.
But I feel like she's gonna win at some point, and then have this be on the fence about something, because she's always on the fence, and her being the lifesaver will cause drama, something like that.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, that's why they brought her back, because she'll probably cause something. Okay, well, thanks for watching and listening to us. We'll talk about these 2 episodes. We'll be back next Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube at Live Reality Games. Follow us on Facebook. And if you are interested in getting cast for any more amateur live reality games, you can go to Live Reality Games Casting and find out all of the opportunities there. Did I cover all of the typical announcements?
Yeah, comment, subscribe, link in the description, all that YouTube stuff.
Well, there you go.
iCard.
Well, until next time, we'll see you next week, everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Camera.